do you think was the key to that year just becoming so strong and going to the bowl?
Well, I'll tell you now, there were two or three pretty darn good football players, and there were two, three guys that didn't look like it who were. And as a result of that, when you beat Baylor and A&M, and then you go into Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Auburn, I mean, you that's a pretty good chunk. And our substitutes were not plentiful, but when the quarterback said go, now whatever they had, you were going to get right in your chest.
Check it. I'll check it.
Oh, my word.
Are you going to get his shoes in this picture?
Starstruck here.
He's had them rolled up because you can see, you can see the crease in them.
Yeah, had them rolled
What'd
up.
you do? Just put your shoes on when you got
Surprised
here?
his socks ain't pink or something like that.
And if you'll state your names, please.
My name is Tangerine Jones.
My name is Frank Brewer.
Okay, these two outlaws were the captains of the team in '63, following the very successful '62 season. As a matter of fact, on my left here, this is my left, Demery. On my left,
Let's go over that again.
Demo, you know, the University of Houston means a lot to all of us. And although you had offers from other schools, you knew very early on that University of Houston was where you wanted to come to play ball, right? Talk
Right.
about that.
The reason I wanted to come here is two reasons. Number one, it was in Houston. Number two, my dad never missed a game in my entire life except for our far out of the cities like Boston College, Cincinnati. He missed those games, but all my high school, all my junior high, all my college, all the Baylors, he never missed a game. So I wanted to be where he could come see me. It was such a delight for he and my mother. There's no way I could leave town to go to another college.
Now you were a JUCO guy, and you came in, actually you and your brother came in at the same time, Monroe.
My brother had played at Tyler Junior College, and I liked the Wagstaff up there, so I went to Tyler Junior College for 2 years, and we visited a whole bunch of schools and ended up, because I had some friends from Nacogdoches already down here, and so I came to the University of Houston.
Now, it's easy, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's easy sometimes for a JUCO guy to get lost in the shuffle. But when Bill Yeoman came in, you got discovered.
Yeah, thank God for that.
How did that happen?
Larry called us all in that had not played and asked us, because he knew he was leaving,
Right.
and he gave us the opportunity to either redshirt or play, and I told him I wanted a red shirt. That's the reason I was able to play 2 years after Larry. And we had lost the last 3 ball games that I hadn't appeared in, so whenever we went to play Florida State, that's the first game for me to start, and I started all the rest of them. We didn't lose any more ball games.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, well, now, Demo, the football program is part of who we are. When you look back on all of that, what do you take out of it as self-motivation?
It boils down to finding what you'd like to do and never say die. Keep on keeping on, knowing if you accomplish this in the football arena, which it was 90 people beating the living hell out of you on a daily basis. If you accomplish this, what's to stop you from accomplishing anything you wanted to do?
hardest I've ever worked in my life. That's one thing Bill Yeoman taught me, is to work hard. When he started getting us up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out and then work out again in the evening, there's nobody in the nation that worked harder than we did. He made the difference. He brought in a new attitude, a new behavior, and of course we had a team of like 46 kids, which in those days was unbelievable because everybody else had about 125 on the sideline.
Tell me about that year. It was just a turnaround, kind of who would have thought you would go? But y'all, when did you start thinking you might go to a bowl?
Well, when we started playing Ole Miss and Alabama and we got beat less than a touchdown, we knew immediately that we had something going. And then we come back and beat Florida State, and we just kept getting better as the year went on.
What I'd like for you to talk about would be the VRT, because you ran the VRT in high school, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, it is a key element of Bill Yeoman's success here at the University of Houston. What the hell is the VRT?
Well, the VRT is an option offense, and it's predicated on a simple premise there of, as a quarterback takes the ball and steps down the line of scrimmage, he's going to read one being the first defensive player on or outside the tackle. Then he's going to come to number 2, and we're going to option 2. We just say option 2, read 1, option 2, block 3. 2 being the defensive end. So if we go to the defensive tackle, our offensive tackle blocks down, you read the defensive tackle, he takes the diving back, then you go to number 2. Number 2, the defensive end. If the defensive end widens a little bit, quarterback takes the ball and runs. If the defensive end steps down to take the quarterback, he pitches to the trailing halfback, who has the tight end in front of him to block number 3. So you have 2 on 1 on the outside. So that's read 1, block 2, option 3. And that essentially is the VRT scheme.
Now, there's some speculation as to how Bill, in his mind, came up with the scheme, and you've probably heard the same story that I've heard, and that is that it was totally by accident. The light went on in Bill's mind, and he thought, well, I can triple option as you just described.
Yeah, I think the story I've heard is that they're sitting watching film, and they're watching an offensive tackle who's missing a blocking assignment, but they're making yards. Because the quarterback's handing the ball off, the defensive tackle did not close, as we said a minute ago. He didn't close, so they're sitting there watching that, and they, as you said, the light comes on and said, I wonder, can we read this? And I think Bo Burrisk was a quarterback at the time,
Yeah,
so they go to Bo, explain to Bo what they want to do, and said, can you read this? And after, hey, you can't do it on the first try.
No.
But after you do it for a while, then the quarterback becomes adept at guessing, judging, is that defensive tackle going to close or is he not?
Yeah, we had a new building, remember, after that first year. I like the old barracks. The old what? The old barracks. Yeah. Well, we moved in that new building like a junior year or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it was junior year. Before that, it was just really good. That was really nice. Born a little bit too early. Yeah.
Mac, a pleasure to have you here. We appreciate you've helped us so much with this event, and we were wondering if you'd give us a few words on where we were when you got here and where you see us going as a UH athletic program.
Well, thank you, Josie. And the question again is, where we were when I got here about 3 years ago and where we're headed. And again, let me first say this is just a great evening. This is a special time when you can bring family back like this, 50 years. It's just great to see everybody and the way they interact with one another and the fact that they just really, truly enjoyed their time here at UH. That's special. And to see Coach Yeoman, this '62 Tangerine Bowl team, Coach Yeoman's first team, and just the pride that's in his eyes, and the pride just in all of the men that are here tonight, along with their spouses. It makes it for a special evening. And really, it's about taking that tradition and that special game, these special group of men, and continuing to build on that legacy. And so 3 years ago, certainly we wanted to embrace the tradition and make sure that everybody here understood how special the University of Houston was, and it was really our job to continue to build on that. And so part of that building process has been, the conference realignment and entry into the Big East, the building of new facilities, and we're hoping to do that, begin with the new football stadium here in December of this year, new basketball arena, or renovation to the basketball arena, upgrades to this building. And I think what we're most proud of is just what we're doing academically. And we've had now 3 best ever in the history of UH athletics academic success stories, and with a leadership program. So a lot of neat stuff going on, but it all ties back to our past and to our tradition, and we want all of these folks here to be proud of what we're doing, because we're certainly proud of what they did.
Now, let's go back to the University of Houston and the football program. Tell me what you took out of that helps you in those later years when things might have been pretty tough. I mean, for crying out loud, you were in a Peace Corps in Brazil.
Just that if you work hard, and you work hard on the football team, there was a place for you if you just played hard, worked hard, didn't quit. I learned that because I walked on. So if you just kept putting out the effort, you managed to make the cuts.
Right, you did.
That's all. So make the cut. Work hard and make the cut. And make the cut in law school where they flunk half the kids out the first year.
Right.
In the old days.
Yeah. It's phenomenal what has happened in 50 years. And it's been 50 years, my old
Yes,
friend.
but I look at the kids and they're us.
There you go.
That's who's out here.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So
We mean, we're, not necessarily the kids that had the most direction in high school or coming out, but we got here and got our feet under us.
Yeah. Now your high school coach was a U of H guy, right?
Yeah, Mike Michon.
And you've spoken with me frequently about how he was an influence in your life.
Yes, he was. Some people, yes, he was for me a great guy, a great example, and I love him to this moment.
Yeah. Well, God bless him. Okay,
You're
my
not
man.
supposed to say that, but that's the way I feel.
No. Hey, this is the night that you say those things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he played here ahead of me, but he was the one that told me I was a college football player. I wasn't going to get a scholarship.
Well, you damn sure were.
But I know the coach. If you want to try out and pass the physical, they'll give you a uniform. So that's all I needed.
and you did one hell of a job. I remember that game against Alabama in '63, I think, when you lost some teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a great play.
And never skipped a beat.
Nope.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, man.
Thank you. Clint. That's about all we could remember.
It's a pleasure to have a moment to sit down with you, and maybe we can remember some of our...
All these years, I'll tell you, you got a better memory than I have.
No. I've heard you recount things recently, and I couldn't believe your memory. But we want to know why or what were the reasons you decided to come to U of H, and how did that all...
No, it's all real easy. When you're an assistant coach, one of the things that a lot of assistant coaches want to do is have a head job. And I loved the Michigan people. I did not love the Michigan weather. And when I got a chance to come south of the Mason-Dixon line, I was going to work real hard to try to do it.
As you think about that first year here, is there some memory that comes to mind and some of your fond memories? I
don't know if I was at Michigan State, and now that was a major Big Ten program with major facilities and major mentality. But I remember I came in and I looked at the training room and I said, "Oh my God!" I mean,
Is that the training room?
Yeah, grammar schools had a better deal than they did. But that's what really, again, I liked it here. The challenge was great. And I'll tell you, because of the challenge, the kids were real close together and the coaches were close together. We get guys like, Billy Willingham and Elmer Red and Don Todd and Barry Shides, these kind of people. Now, those are fun folks to work with. They're fun people to be around.
Did you think you would go to a bowl game when you started that season? Was that in your mind, or was it kind of?
It's always in your mind, but no, I didn't entertain that. I'm going to a bowl game there that first year with what I saw. But we demanded. I found out while I was there at West Point with Colonel Blake that you had to demand certain things, and if they didn't want to do it, then you pat them on the back, tell them to go somewhere else. Because to do what we had to do, you had to have a serious commitment. I mean, it had to be strong. It had, not just casual or, whenever, if something happens to come along and I really want to do it, find it. What we had to do and get done, it had to be deadly serious. And we had a bunch of guys that maybe didn't look that good to some people, but I'll tell you now, for 60 minutes, you were going to get whatever it is they had, you were going to get it.
Wow.
And that's no small item. And so it was really an enjoyable journey because they all wanted to. They wanted to play. And they understood that if they varied off of that team program an inch, we weren't going to beat the Little Sisters of the Poor.
I think I heard that some of these fellows heard you say we're going to, really get after it and be tough in practice and stuff, but they didn't quite maybe believe you at first, but then they really saw the light.
But it wasn't anything overbearing or anything. It's just, this is the way it has to be. If you're going to get yourself mentally and physically ready to play football, this is what you have to go through. And if they do that, then you've got a chance. That doesn't mean you're going to win them all, but it means there's hope here in River City.
Well, that schedule that year, was there a tougher schedule in the nation? That sounds like about the toughest I've heard.
I'll tell you, it was pretty serious. But I can still remember we started off with Auburn, Alabama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Memphis State, who was 8-0-1. And that was a little serious for a young coach who, was just getting his feet wet. Well, I got them wet that time. They dumped me into the canal 2 or 3 times. But our kids still played really hard. And that's the thing you had to do. So what we had to do was get enough youngsters who were, had the speed and the size and all this kind of stuff that we could compete physically with the people we were playing, like Georgia and Alabama and Ole Miss and those people. And it kept you up. It got you up early in the morning and kept you up late at night.
Coach, I know you want to get back to your team in there that's come to have a 50th reunion with you, and so
I'll tell you, I think the guys that worked on this, Horseball and his buddies worked on this. I appreciate them more than they have any idea for getting this done, because this is serious business, I think. And this is where our university is. We have got to bring those who went through here back in. And make sure they're happy to be back in.
And may I mention, it was the football team that decided to do this. They got together and came up with the idea, and they've done just about all the work.
They've done it all.
Yep.
They have done it all. And I'll tell you, I appreciate the heck out of it, because this is the next thing that has to get done.
We'll get there.
We got to start playing like the big fellas if we want to be one of them.
You bet. You bet. Thank you, Coach Young.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you did.
Well, thanks.
The cheerleading is important.
Listen, I believe in it. You can't tell, can you?
No. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Fantastic.